Hello everybody, this is KLTechNerd, welcoming you to another Minecraft video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 10 most useful 100% automatic farms. And you know what the best part about these automatic farms is? You do not need to do anything. They will just continue growing and creating resources as long as you're playing the game Minecraft and as long as your computer's on. I think you also have to be in range, but generally you don't need to do anything. They'll just run indefinitely, just like that bamboo farm that just went off. And they're scalable. You can make them as big or as small as you want to. So, an example is with this bamboo farm, I could just do 4 blocks wide. I don't want to. I want to do a nice big farm. I want to have it be super, super big and bring me lots of bamboo. But you could make it 1 if you want to. It's really up to you and what you want to do and how big you want to make farms. So, without any more waiting, let's start talking about the farms. The first farm that I would like to look at is, or first 2 farms I should say, because they both use the same circuit, is the bamboo farm and the sugar farm. So these 2 farms use the exact same circuit. Right there, there's a mine cart underneath it that's collecting the items. As it passes over the hopper, you get whatever item that gets dropped. In this case, it's a lot of bamboo and a lot of sugar. Although I do have to admit that the bamboo seems to grow a lot quicker than the sugar. So what happens is that the bamboo or sugar grows, and then as it grows, once it hits that observer, the observer senses that something changed. It sends out a signal that sets off this redstone, and then that sets off the piston. The piston hits it, and then it cuts it short, and then it just needs to wait for it to grow again. And the same thing with the sugar. So the sugar's down here. It grows past the pistons. But once it hits the observer says, oh, wait a minute, and then it goes and cuts the sugar, and the farm can just run forever as long as you're close to it. 100% automatically, you don't need to do a thing. So if I put some sugar right there, take a look at that. It cuts it short, and the minecart picks it up, and then we get more sugar to make cookies or cake or fireworks or explosives, whatever you need to do with it. And you don't need to do a thing. All you need to do is be near it and be within range. The next farm that I would like to look at is another simple circuit design. This will work with either the pumpkins or the melons. So we're up to farm number 3 and farm number 4. Very simple again. There's just an observer. It looks at that stem, and then there's a piston. When that finishes up, it will go and go over there. The piston will collect it, and this is the circuit. So we have an observer, a piston, and then just a little bit of redstone back here. No comparators again. So very, very nice, simple, easy design. Easy to do, easy to create. And it'll just create an endless amount of melons and watermelons. I will suggest, though, that if you do want to do this for an actual food source, like let's say you just have melons and all that other stuff, plan on doing a lot of them. I let this farm run for about an hour, and I only got 2 drops. So right here, oh wow. So I got 1 pumpkin and 1 melon, and it's been about an hour. So I would definitely increase the size of this and do at least a few of them. I mean, roughly speaking, if it ran for an hour and you got 2 of them, then having 4 of them running, you should be able to collect every 15 minutes, etc., etc. If you have like 60 of these, you should get 1 drop a minute. So, you know I want to do a major farm with that later. This I used in the farm over there for my fox farm. This is just it more out in the open. This is going to take the spot of number 5. Easiest farm to build. No redstone again. However, there is a minecart down here. So just like those farms, another minecart. And the fox picks the berries up. Like that. The minecart goes underneath it, and it'll pick up the berries. Bloop. And then when it goes over the hopper, we will get more berries. And this is just an endless cycle. This thing can run forever. This poor little guy is always going to be pulling the berries for us. So if you can get your hands on a fox, and it will go into a farm, you could easily put one in a farm like this, and you will get an endless amount of berries. And if you want to build something a little bit more complex, we do have a kelp farm right here. I probably made this a little bit too tall, so if you did build this in your world, you might want to make it a little bit shorter. So this is a little bit more complicated. We have the repeater right here, and then pistons. So what happens is that these observers observe the kelp seaweed, one of those, and it sets off the redstone, which then goes down here, and then the comparator goes and sends a signal in here, which tells the pistons to fire. And the only real problem that I have with this farm is that occasionally the kelp will get stuck right here, or seaweed, or whatever it's... I need to figure that out. No, that's not seaweed. Wow. Okay, kelp. Sweet, okay, I was calling it the right thing. Kelp will get caught right here because this does create an air block, but as soon as the kelp grows in, it will allow for the seaweed to pass because... Oh, right there. Hey, we got to see a farm go off. How cool is that? So, same thing. Now, on this particular unit, you go up here for the hopper to go and then find the kelp that was harvested. So, once again, you can make this like too wide. Oh, see, there's some of the kelp that got stuck, so whoops. And you can't really get to it to go figure it out, but as soon as that kelp grows in, it'll let that kelp pass because this will no longer be an air block, or not an air block, but, you know, it won't be a solid, it'll be a solid water block again, and then that can pass, and good times all around. Next up, for the same kind of circuit, but I flipped it upside down. Now we have a comparator right here. You know, I'm going to have to go double check. Comparator. Okay. I was doing the repeater. So you need a redstone repeater going right here into these blocks. And as that's not good. So you never saw anything, and there we go. Okay, so what'll happen is it's the same kind of circuit, but now in reverse. So this would be a dripstone farm. So what happens is the dripstone, there's water up here, and then you need the dripstone blocks. So these kind of blocks, the dripstone block on the top, otherwise it won't work. Then you put the dripstone below it. These guys get long, and then as they get long, they go in front of the piston, and then as soon as they hit the observer sets off the piston, which then cuts off the dripstone, and then it falls into this water, and then it falls into the hopper where you can collect it. And I empty these things every once in a while. The dripstone, you're going to want to definitely have a lot of, because it takes a long time for that farm to be able to work. Something like the bamboo grows really fast, so you don't really have to worry about having it large. But definitely with the dripstone, you're going to want to have a lot of them. So this would be a good one to have a massive amount of dripstone in a farm, so you can just get tons of it. And since you need dripstone to make the dripstone blocks, it's going to take a long time to be able to build. This is definitely a more advanced farm, but it's definitely worth it if you want a lot of dripstone. And right here, again, we have the comparator, which goes right here. It sets off a redstone signal. The redstone signal goes off, and then it sets off the pistons. And they could just collect on and on forever. Now, the important thing about all these farms is that you do not need to touch them. They are fully automatic farms. And they'll just run forever. So this is an example of a cactus farm. This one is another one you might want to wait a long time for. What happens is the cactus goes up, it doesn't allow a block near it, so it falls off, and it'll just do that endlessly. I have 8 here, and I will get about 4 to 8 an hour, so it does not run that fast. And let me see here. Okay, so, and if you have too much cactus, you might say, why do you want so much cactus? Why do you want so many berries? Quite simply, if you have too many and you just think to yourself, oh my goodness, I have so many, I don't want to have a big farm, you could do what I would do, which is if you take a bunch of berries, I'm just going to put them all in, and put them into this machine. If you look, you can add them to a compost machine, or yeah, compost, and you will get bone meal. So if you have too many of them, you could always just put the extra into a compost, and then voila, you will get compost for every little bit that you put in there. So good thing to do, good thing to do. Now, I'm pretty much done with the automated farms, with the super automated farms part that require a lot. If you have not gone to the Nether and you don't have any observers, there is a trick that you can do. It's a little bit more complicated, but if you can get a, I always get these things mixed up. Repeater, right? No, these things are, I'm making a goof out of myself. Comparator, thank you. If you can get a hold of 2 comparators, you can make a timing circuit. So this is really, really simple. This is just a bit of a bonus in this video. So you have the comparator right here. It sets off a signal that goes over here. Then there's redstone right here that sets off the piston. You do need sticky pistons for this to work. And what happens is you put items in here, and then as it counts down, it will set off the pistons, and then you could get a redstone signal. So like, let's say this connects to what you use to collect the items. You can hook this up, and then it will collect the items, and you do not need to use a bunch of observers. Bunch of observers. So if you can't afford the observers, you can do a circuit like that, and it will run just as good. I've seen people do that with the sugar farms and the kelp farms and then the dripstone farms. The dripstone still takes way too long to grow, so there's that, and that's goofy. Where's the minecart? Did it get stuck? Okay, I'm going to have to investigate now because this is going to be bugging me. Oh, it got stuck. How'd it get stuck? I don't know. That's funny. Okay, so yeah, you do kind of have to worry about that too, I guess. And that's bizarre. I did not think that that would ever happen. My guess is a chicken or something might have gotten in. So you do need to seal this stuff so you don't get mobs running in. I did leave it open though because I wanted for people to be able to see the different farms and how they operate. So just if you make this in your world, just make sure to seal it. So what'll happen is then you can have it running indefinitely and it won't get stuck like that. It has to be that chicken that's been running around. That's what did it. Yeah, of course. So yeah, and the nice part about all these farms is they are 100% automatic. That's a project I'm working on. I'm going to put all of these into a tower and make a giant tower of just all the automated farms. And this is what I had in the fox farm that I made for that video. And this is just another version of it. So this is the cooked chicken farm. So right up here is the parent chickens. Then there's a hopper. It collects the eggs. The eggs go into the dispenser. This guy right here, the comparator, goes and turns off this torch, and then you have an item. This kit doesn't have to be a button. It can be any item. Goes back and forth between here, and then that's how you get the clicks. So if I have, like, let's say 2 eggs, that'll give me the clicks. Now, you don't need to have the observer here. The only reason why I did that is because otherwise lava would be getting stuck, and I don't want for lava to get stuck. And, oh, see, right here. And because of how compact this is, we have some redstone right here. This sets off the lava. This sets off the dispenser, so it shoots off the eggs. If we didn't want to use lava and you just wanted to use entity cramming, you can get rid of the observer and then just put a repeater in its place. And it'll just fire the eggs until it's empty. And then it'll use entity cramming to destroy all the chickens that are in one area. Only 6 cooked chicken. That's not too bad, but not too good. And the last 2 farms I would like to cover are farms I don't really... I was hearing about them and I was trying to play around with them. They're not really ready yet to completely show off, but I figured, okay. And if this works okay, this would be a mushroom farm. So what happens is that if you get mushrooms, the whole idea is that you have mushrooms up here. And if a mushroom grows, it goes there, and then a piston that's there collects it and then sends it to the bottom chest. I've not really gotten anything, though, so it might just be a farm that's not really working too well, or I need to play around with something. But it's another simple farm. There's no redstone, which is funny. But you just need the observer right here to observe the mushroom, and then that's what sets off this piston. And yeah, it just kind of runs indefinitely. And then you have a minecart here, a rail, and then a hopper. And all the good times. So let me see here. Oh, that's fine. And this is the same kind of farm. So if I go in here, what I can do is uncover a bunch of bats for some reason. And I got... Yeah, see, in this one, I don't think I put the walls right here. I'm trying to see if I could get it to pass to the pod soy right here. And the only reason why I didn't put more right here with the mushroom, with more mushrooms, is because I've heard that if you go and have too many mushrooms in one area, it won't work. So I'm kind of trying to make sure that I didn't have too many mushrooms in one place. Otherwise, I would have put more. It's one of those things where what I would probably do is make a bunch of these and just wait to see if any of them grow. And that will definitely be my last 2 farms. So we have the red mushroom farm and then the brown mushroom farm. So, and these ones, I will admit, I don't even know if they work. But hey, you have berries, bamboo, sugar. You have melons and pumpkins. And that got you some more. The kelp is a big one. And then you have dripstone. And then cactus. And... oh, and one more thing too. This is a simple version of the chicken farm, but done in a different way. So like, let's say you have a bunch of items and you just want to get rid of them. You put it down into this hopper, and then you put it goes into this dropper. And then this redstone circuit will go and then say, okay, well, there's an item in the dropper. It turns off this torch. One item, in this case it's an egg, goes and then sets a signal that pulses until this guy is empty. So, and then what does he do? He shoots it off into cactus. You could use cactus, you could use lava, you could use a couple of other things. And the main reason for that is it can be kind of like a garbage area to get rid of any excess items, and then you don't need to leave them lying around. You don't need to go and do this and worry about picking them up. You know, put them in this and then it cleans up. But that's also another example of that circuit being used in a different way. So it doesn't really need to be in a chicken farm. Anything that you want to fire, you can fire off like that. And yeah, so this concludes the 10 most automated farms that I could think of in Minecraft. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I have 9 and 10. And, oh, and 11. So there's a bonus one in here too. But yeah, so the redstone for those is not too bad. It's not too difficult. But anyway, It's some pretty basic farms. You could scale these up if you want to, so you can get a larger farm or a smaller farm. Some of the items would probably definitely work better in bigger farms, but in this case I wanted to do just small little ones so people could kind of see how the redstone works and things like that. So thank you so much everybody for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I hope that somebody found these videos helpful. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button. It really helps out the channel, and it'll let me know that you like watching videos like this. And if you like this video and you're not, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It'll really... There's a bat. And if you could, and if you're not, could you please consider hitting the subscribe button? It'll really help the channel out. And that way you'll be notified the next time that I upload a new video or the next time that I do a live stream. So, I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I will see everybody in the next live stream. Thank you so much. See everybody later. And goodbye. Less travel between pickups. So if I check the output right here, I got an egg. Okay. I got sugar and bamboo. And I don't know how I got an egg. Probably that chicken went over here and dropped an egg to be funny.